As a world traveler, one of the best investments you can make is in camera equipment to document and remember your trips. And in this video, we're gonna be talking through a travel-friendly, high-quality camera gear setup for travel vlogging, action shots, drone footage, you name it, and it all fits in a small, personal item-sized backpack. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, Nik Kennett here with A Way Together, giving you tips and tools for better travel. And today we're answering one of the questions that we've gotten over and over, which is, what's in our camera bag? My wife Allie and I just wrapped up 6 months of international travel and we vlogged the entire thing. So I'm gonna walk you through item by item our exact setup that's been road tested and give you my honest opinions along the way. All right, let's dive right in and talk about the bag itself. This is the Peak Design 20-liter everyday backpack. And some of the reasons I chose it and the reasons that I love it, number one, it is meant for camera gear, but it doesn't really look like a camera bag. When you're traveling internationally and when you're spending time in big cities or in crowded areas, you don't really want to draw attention to yourself. You don't want to be carrying around a bag that just screams, I have expensive electronics in here, right? So I like that this could pass as just kind of a sleek looking backpack. The other thing is, it just isn't dorky like a lot of camera bags these days are. Honestly, it kind of looks like if Batman had a camera bag. Like, I just love how kind of sleek and utilitarian and sort of modern and rugged it looks. It's weather resistant. It's not waterproof, but it can definitely stand up in the rain, or if you have to set this down on the ground, your gear is not gonna get wet and soggy on the inside. I like that it's got these pockets on the outside for a water bottle or for a tripod. It's got a luggage pass-through or a trolley sleeve where you could, slide this over the handle of your roller bag. So that's really, really nice as well. But the team at Peak Design, they're just product designers and product developers that really think about how can we pack features in here that you never knew you wanted, but you're very glad that you have. And I'll kind of talk through some of those. The bag opens in multiple ways, and so you can open it from the side like this. Peak Design has this system called the Flex Fold dividers. You can tell that it's almost like there's shelves in here. It's like a little portable bookshelf where you can see all the gear. But you can also open from the top, and I really like that you can have top access to access that top area. The bag is full of lots of little pockets. There's a little stuff area in the back. There's a laptop sleeve. One of the really cool features is magnets. They just use magnets in nice, creative ways. For example, this latch is magnetic. It doesn't need to be. It's got a hook, so it's gonna catch on to these areas where you adjust the strap. But the little magnet makes it to where it catches a little better. Another area they used magnets was in these straps. The straps just kind of magnetically hold here when you put them. So that's really kind of neat as well. The handles on this bag are nice. The zippers are very nice. One con I do have is that the area in the back that is meant to just sort of hold stuff, it's kind of right on the other side of the laptop sleeve, is not very big. And I wish that area was just a little bit bigger. It can get kind of squished. There's just not much room. That's one thing I would have liked to see, is a bigger area for the additional stuff. You could say maybe that one other con of this bag is the price tag. It's not cheap. It's a $260 bag. However, I don't regret spending that money on this bag at all. It's probably my favorite piece of gear I've ever purchased. I think it's worth the investment, worth the price, but that's up to you. All right, let's talk about our camera. Our main vlogging camera is the Sony A7 III. This is our daily driver. We use it for 95% of everything we shoot, this exact setup. Some of the great things about it, it's a full sensor camera. It shoots 4K video, high quality photos. It's got optical steady shot inside. And one of the great things about Sony cameras is the autofocus. It's so fast at finding a human being. Sony uses what's called eye autofocus, where it actually focuses on the eyeball of a person. It tracks with them very, very quick if your settings are all set up correctly, and it makes vlogging pretty easy in a lot of different conditions. It comes with about a $2,000 price tag for the body alone. Now, you are able to find these used, especially as there's newer models out. By the way, I've got links in the description below for everything I'm showing you in the video today. A couple of cons, I would say, for this camera if you're in the market right now. Number one, it was a little tricky to learn. Allie and I were complete beginners when it came to cameras and vlogging and filming of any kind other than on a phone, to be honest with you. So this is an intermediate kind of camera. I mean, you need to know things about white balance. You need to understand aperture if you're going to be shooting in manual. And so there was a steep learning curve at first. The other thing is this model does not have a flip out screen. If you're interested in a flip screen and that's a deal breaker for you, if you're going to be vlogging and you need to see yourself every time you're filming, check out the Sony A7C, which is a very similar camera, but it's got a flip out screen. I'll link to that below as well. All right, the main lens we used for vlogging was the Tamron 17-28 f2.8 lens. It's ultra wide. If you're gonna be vlogging, you're gonna need something wide, right? I really, really like that it's f2.8, meaning it's a very low aperture. You can get that nice background behind you. This is an affordable lens for being a wide angle and for being f2.8. You know, like the Sony G Master, the 16 to 35 millimeter G Master. It's a great lens, but it's like as much as the camera. This lens, made by Tamron, it's like $7.99. And again, you can even find some good deals out there. I love it. It's compact, it's weather resistant, and it just kind of feels good in the hand. I'm a fan of it. On the end of the lens here is an ND filter. It's the Polar Pro Peter McKinnon variable ND filter 2 to 5 stop. And if you're not familiar with ND filters, basically what they are is they're like sunglasses for your camera. That low aperture that you can get with this lens, that 2.8, what this enables you to do is if you're outside in really, really bright and sunny conditions, you can put the ND filter on and it allows you to still stay at that lower aperture, getting that nice blurry background behind you, which was really important for us because probably 80-90% of our filming was outside. So very clutch. If you're going to be doing much outdoor filming, you need an ND filter. Next, audio. One of the most important things for videos, especially videos on YouTube, is quality audio. To be honest, a lot of times people will excuse a video that's slightly out of focus, or maybe it's, you know, not the highest, best quality in the world, but we can't stand bad audio, seriously. So consider investing in a camera with an external mic jack. And in terms of a microphone, I've tested several, and this is my favorite. This is the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. And I won't get too into it, but it's a really good sounding microphone. The main features that I really love, first of all, the battery lasts a long time. Like in 6 months, I probably charged this 3 or 4 times, and we were filming all day, almost every day. Number 2, and this is the most important, the microphone turns on and off when you turn the camera on and off. I had tried a different microphone before we got this one, and I can't tell you how much of our footage was unusable simply because I forgot to turn the mic on. So the fact that the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus turns itself on and off with your camera is huge. Like, it will save you hours of madness. Okay, this is the Joby GorillaPod 5K kit. What the heck is this thing? Is it a tripod? Is it a selfie stick? If you're watching this on YouTube, you've probably already seen one of these things out there. It's really, really convenient, and it's a versatile piece of tech, so I don't have to have a bunch of different grips or handles or tripods or whatever for this camera. It's the one thing we carried around that worked. You may have noticed I have this little plate attached to the bottom of my camera. I just leave that on, so it makes for a easy on and off with the Joby. And then most of the time we were rolling with something like this. Okay, what else is in the bag? I've got one more lens. This is the Sony G 18-105 f4 zoom lens. I don't use this that often. It's very nice if we need some zoom, or if we, are far away from something. That's what you would need a zoom for, right? My favorite features, it's got steady shot baked into it. Really, the best thing is this digital zoom. You can go from pretty far out to very, very close in and never have to use the ring. It can all just be done with this nice kind of electronic zoom function here. I got this on a great deal at a electronics store in Berlin. It was the last one on the shelf. I got it basically half off, but even today, because this is not the newest model on the market, you can get this on Amazon for like around $600. Okay, next up we have the GoPro. We use the GoPro for anything kind of action related or water related. Basically any situation where it would be a travesty to drop or break or damage our camera. So recently I published a vlog where we went paragliding, and that was fantastic, and I used the A7 III for a whole lot of that day and for a lot of the storytelling and capturing some great footage, but I was not gonna hold that thing in the sky. So we actually used this GoPro Hero 9. You can get it on Amazon for about 350 bucks, and I won't go too in depth on it. I think most people know what GoPros are, but super compact, super, super easy. Shoots in 4K. It also does slow-mo. It does great photos. You can do time lapses with this. The stabilization in the GoPro is unreal. I am a runner and I have taken some running videos with this thing. I can't tell you how many comments I've gotten about how stable it was. I mean, the stabilization in this thing is wild. It's better than the Sony. I mean, it honestly feels like if you were to put the nice camera like on a gimbal. So that's great. You can shoot great underwater footage with it, and honestly it's just versatile. The GoPro system, it's nice because there are so many different applications. Speaking of some of the accessories that we like, we didn't go crazy with the accessories, but two of our favorites that I'll tell you about right now. Number one, and this is what we use most of the time, this is an official GoPro accessory. It's called the Handler. This is their water handle, and it's got this kind of foam padding around it. It floats, so if you were to accidentally let go of this doing some water stuff, it's gonna float. One other that we really like, it's another GoPro official accessory, is called the Jaws, or is it just called Jaws? We call it the Claw because it's got this clampy claw thing, but it's got the the bendability and the kind of versatility of the Joby, but you can clamp it to anything. I've hooked it to the back of a bus seat to get a shot. You could clip it to a ceiling fan. I mean, anything you can think of. It's a great way to kind of get creative. It's one of our favorite accessories. So next we have probably my favorite piece of all of our camera gear, which is the drone. The drone is the DJI Mavic Air 2S. It's very small, it's travel size. It's perfectly compact, but the beautiful thing is it's a full 1-inch sensor. You can shoot 4K video, you can take 20 megapixel photos. This thing is amazing, and DJI just packs so much into their product. You need to learn how to fly your drone, but they do so much to help you make it easy. It takes off and lands by itself. The remote control, really, really nice, and just some little features. I love that the joysticks tuck away. You can just screw them in right here. It's so smart to make it kind of packable and travel friendly like that. It was an investment. We spent $12.99. We purchased the Fly More combo. I found this on Amazon.com, super cheap. It's by Sunny Life. I'll link it below. But it cradles the drone like perfectly. It's very protective, nice fuzz in there, and nice and compact. So that's our main equipment, but I have a few other little just sort of storage and organization type things. So I've got this little case that came with the GoPro, very similar to the one I was just showing you with the drone. It's kind of a hard shell, but it's, you know, sort of soft at the same time. It's just a little place where I keep, number one, the extra drone batteries. I keep extra GoPro batteries, little things like lens cap, and then it's protective where I keep some of our external storage. These are SanDisk, solid state hard drives. They're super rugged. I have 3 of these. Each of them are 2 terabytes, and love them. You can actually edit off of these things. They're super fast, super small, super protected, and really, really big fan. I'll link them below. Some other things you might need. This is a little blower, and I didn't have one of these until kind of midway through our travels when I discovered the sensor on our camera was dirty. You don't want to wipe your sensor with just like a cloth or something like that. You want to use a blower. What else? I've got just a little storage case for SD cards, memory cards, external power. So I've got this little Anchor external USB charger. Travel adapter. This is the Epica travel adapter. One of my favorite things about it is it's got multiple different continents and countries in here. It has USB-C as well, and 4 USB slots. So you can charge a lot off of this one little thing, like 20 bucks. Last but not least, we have a Peak Design camera strap. A really cool thing about this is you may have seen these little things hanging off of my camera. They have sort of an ecosystem that work with these, and the strap is no exception. It just slides on and clips very, very easily. And sometimes I would use the strap if I wanted to be a little bit more discreet, or especially if we were in areas where I was worried about getting pickpocketed or anything like that. Question of the day: what is your setup? What is your go-to bag, your go-to camera for vlogging, etc.? Is there something you feel like I missed? Is there something you feel like I got wrong? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, if you got value out of this, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for watching. See ya.